Hi, welcome to the Overthinking Nerds podcast. I'm Emma Brown.
And I'm Zachary Brown.
And we have a guest here today, our mother. Would you
Hello.
like to introduce yourself?
I'm Malia Brown.
Cool. Nice to meet you.
I literally just said she's our mother, Zach.
Oh,
Oh.
So what
I've
we-
known you for a while.
what are we talking about today?
Today we are talking about the Rise of Skywalker. Yes, we were talking about
Really?
Star Wars 2 weeks in a row. How fun.
The best of the sequels.
I think we probably. Well, I don't know. I go back and forth with Rise of Skywalker.
Well, we'll get
Yeah,
to
we'll
that.
get to
We'll
that.
get to our opinions.
So we basically got our
So-
thoughts, reactions, what we had to the new movie, and how much we hated it or loved it.
I have some thoughts, but
I have
we'll
thoughts
get
too.
to that later.
Yeah, we will.
Mine are the right thoughts.
Actually, I'm getting to that now. That's what we're getting to next.
Mom,
What?
we could kick you off the podcast
Yeah.
if you want.
Okay.
All right. So we'd like to go first and share their thoughts and reactions.
So are we just doing just a going around thing to?
Well, we can interject and tell the person when they are totally wrong. That is allowed.
Wait,
But what?
but if it's your opinion, how is it wrong?
Opinions can be
Opi-
wrong, Mom.
Mom,
This is America.
if somebody thinks The Last Jedi, if somebody's opinion that Last Jedi is the best Star Wars movie, they are wrong.
Okay, yeah, I guess I agree with that.
We just offended like a bunch of people out there,
We
but
probably
I don't
did.
care.
I don't care either.
Would we want to let our guest go first? Or do you want to hear us talk?
I would like to hear you talk first.
Alright,
I think I should be our guest.
just put the guest on the spot. Let's put the guest on the
let's put
spot.
the guest on the spot. What were your thoughts about the Rise of Skywalker, Mom? Just start out with initial thoughts, and we'll go from there.
My initial thoughts was I really enjoyed it.
Your initial thoughts were.
Zach, you don't
Okay,
have
is
to-
this podcast about grammar?
You're my teacher, so you need to make sure you proper grammar.
What did you like about it?
What did I like about it?
Mm-hmm.
I just like the story and how they brought everything together, because the movie before this one, I just thought it just didn't do very well, and it left all these things hanging and stuff.
Oh no, I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing at Zach.
Different parts of the plot were like just weren't taken care of very well, and so I liked how they
there.
resolved in this last one. At least I thought it was resolved well. I'm glad they didn't kill Chewbacca. That would've been
Chewbacca
sad.
should have died. But.
I don't think he should have.
Spoilers for Rise of Skywalker if you weren't aware.
Sorry about that.
Yeah,
We didn't
should
spoil
know.
anything major.
But
Except the fact that Ben Solo dies. Now we spoiled something major.
way to go, Zach.
I
this
think
is not
all-
spoiler free.
I think all the major fans would have seen it by now.
What if you're a major fan who has no money?
Then I guess that's out of luck.
See, I guarantee you there's one huge Star Wars fan out there that hasn't seen it.
Well, the odds are probably in your
Yeah,
favor.
see? So we could spoil it for someone.
Good. I don't know.
But if I haven't seen it, would they really be watching this?
Probably not.
Of like the questionably 20 people that have watched this.
Anyway, should we get
What
back
haven't
to
you
the...
liked about it?
Yeah,
What
were
didn't
there-
I like
yeah, were
about
there
it?
things that you didn't like?
Fine, you check my grammar. You can correct my grammar if I correct yours.
I thought the scene with, this will be a spoiler too, I guess, Emperor Palpatine, towards the end,
Mm-hmm.
when Rey is there. I don't remember the name of that place they were at.
Exegol.
Exegol?
Oh,
Yeah.
sure.
Come on!
I've only
this
seen
is
it once.
called-
I need
this
to
is
see
called
it
the
again.
Overthinking Nerds,
Oh,
so
okay.
we're supposed to know things
Yeah.
like this.
And then when Kylo Ren, or Ben, comes, I think that whole thing should have, I don't know. I didn't really like that scene as well. I thought it could be done better. That was one thing I didn't like about it.
Fun fact, the main villain movie, the Emperor, is like less than 5 minutes of screen time.
A lot of times that's what happens.
It's sad. And Lando's like less than 2.
Yeah, I like that they
Zach,
had Lando.
If they gave him any more screen time, they'd probably end up killing him, so...
That's true. It's a good point.
Yeah.
So, Zach, would you like to share some of your thoughts, too?
I have another question for her. So let's say,
Okay.
based off of the Rise of Skywalker, how do you feel about the future of the Star Wars franchise?
It has a future.
Well, I mean, what else are they gonna do? I mean, I will say I do like The Mandalorian.
Mandalorian's a good show.
Oh, we need to talk about that.
Episode for another time.
Yeah, we need to talk about that.
Baby Yoda.
Episode
for another
we invited you to
time.
talk about the Rise of Skywalker, not the Mandalorian.
Maybe you should invite me for that one. It's been a while
Sorry.
since I've seen Rise of Skywalker.
Our first guest wasn't able to make it.
Yeah, has he seen
Thanks,
The Mandalorian?
Cameron.
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, we could talk about that with it.
Well, we're gonna take a break from Star Wars. We're probably gonna talk about, I don't know, maybe we haven't talked about the MCU at all. We might talk.
We can invite Moira to do that.
Yeah, we could talk about that next.
But anyway,
Well, you know what I'm trying to think of though?
What?
I'm trying to remember how I wanted that scene to be different
Which scene?
with Rey and Ben and
well,
Emperor.
maybe we can delve into that in a little bit when we're getting more in deep things. 'Cause we're kind of just doing, I think,
Initial thoughts.
surface
Initial
things.
thoughts.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, we'll delve into that stuff.
So, what are your guys'
Yeah, what are your
initial
thoughts on it?
I'm anxious to hear about them.
I do think it's the best out of the sequels.
Not saying
Only
much.
the sequels.
Not saying much.
Yeah. It didn't have that much to beat, in my opinion. But, it was a fairly well-constructed movie. I'm using qualifiers now. I am using qualifiers. I don't know, I was just so overwhelmed with certain feelings toward certain things that sometimes it was hard to focus on the thing as a whole. So, I mean, I didn't love it, but I didn't dislike it. The ending was okay. Overall, it wasn't bad, but it wasn't amazing. That's just my surface level thoughts.
I think if you grew up with the original series,
Everything else sucks, right? Is that what
trilogy.
you think?
I think you would really like the last movie.
I
I grew up with the original trilogy just because I wasn't alive when it came out doesn't mean I didn't grow up with it.
No, but I don't like the prequels very much.
You're wrong.
And
That's what I
Disney
get from
doesn't
it.
know how to make a Star Wars movie.
this movie reminded
Rogue
me.
One was
Okay,
Rogue
Rogue
was
One.
good.
But I think
Solo
it's the people
was
that they're
good
getting to make them and all.
What I was
that
going
don't
to
know
say
how to
was,
make
before I was really
really
interrupted,
Good feeling
is...
You're
Star
academic
Wars
first.
movie.
Oh, I'm sorry. It kind of reminded me of Return of the Jedi, a little bit. Kind of the spirit
Disappointing
of it.
end of the franchise where none of the core 3 characters die.
I don't think from the turn of the... Sit back. I can't see my co-star. Know your place.
Hey, don't touch me.
No. Kidding.
Okay, Return of the Jedi's not that bad.
I like Return of the Jedi.
It
Also,
re- it
partly
had-
because my first
it
impression when I
reminded
was
me of
younger, and
that.
as I loved the Ewoks because they were cute.
Ewoks suck.
I just liked them because I was younger. But no,
Not as bad as Porgs, but
I
the Ewoks
like,
still suck.
I like.
I'm not a negative
Jedi.
person.
Can I say something
At
else?
all.
This podcast is not a good representation of your personality, Zach.
Yes?
Can I say something I didn't like, or I thought I wasn't gonna like, but then I let it go?
Mm-hmm.
Do you have a guess? Towards the end.
Ray
No!
and Ben
If
kissing.
you, we're getting to that. I
What?
was saving
Okay.
that until later.
She's saving that.
Okay,
so
yeah,
I
we'll
won't
wait.
say
We'll wait
anything
on
yet.
that.
Because I'm gonna unleash my feelings on that.
Oh, wait.
I already basically said what I
So,
would be in my mind.
Emma,
I foreshadowed
what are your thoughts
things,
on the
and I was
future
right.
of the Star Wars franchise? Like, do you think they ended in a good place? And do you think you're excited for more Star Wars movies down the line?
No.
Because they are coming. There's going to be more Star Wars movies.
Why?
Yeah, the next one
What?
comes out in like
What
2022.
movie?
I don't know. They haven't announced it yet, but it's supposed to come out like... There's supposed to be another
I don't-
trilogy.
I don't.
Another trilogy?
I think it's like a prequel. Rumors
A prequel
say...
to what?
Well, it's going to take place like takes place before the prequels. Actually, it's gonna
So
take.
it's like a pre-prequel?
Yeah, it's a prequel to the prequels, but it's like a few hundred years. For the
I don't
prequels,
know.
Supposedly.
I don't know. I'm not going off of the sequels. I'm not super. I don't know. I'm indifferent. I don't care a lot. Like, to me, if you're making another trilogy, it seems like classic Disney milking every single asset they have,
Fair.
like they always do.
One's actually good.
Toy Story.
You haven't even seen Toy Story 4.
You saw it.
I
I don't
agree with
need
her.
to see
You haven't
it.
even seen it either.
I agree with you.
I don't
They shouldn't have done
I
a
don't-
Toy Story
I
4.
don't need to see it. Again, another thing for another time. But I don't know. I'm just indifferent. I like what they're doing with The Mandalorian and that sort of stuff, but in terms of like the actual movies, I don't care, honestly. I'm just they've killed a certain part of my just Star Wars fan eagerness for stuff. I'm like
Disney murdered the Star Wars fan inside you.
partially. They're only mostly
Oh.
dead.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Still slightly alive, but only mostly dead. Not all dead.
So they can be brought back.
Maybe.
Maybe. Okay.
Well, just like
It's in the fate is in
Just
Disney's
like
hands,
the
which
man-
is not a good thing.
just like the Man in Black.
Yeah.
We're not talking about the Princess Bride.
His name, you know his name's Leslie. Why do you call him that?
We're not talking about the Princess Bride right now.
Okay.
As like has nothing to do with Star Wars.
I made a reference to that though.
Yeah,
That's
she
what I
did.
was
You did.
saying.
Okay.
So,
Share my thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, your thoughts.
Well,
Your thoughts, enlighten us.
I would, but I said the movie was a roller coaster. There were parts I liked, there were parts I felt meh about, and then there were a bunch of parts I hated. Like I hated the end.
That's a good analogy, I think.
Mm-hmm.
There's some really good scenes in there, like the scene where Ben, is kind of talking like sort of like the I don't know what you call it, the ghost of Han Solo, like memory, yeah, of Han Solo.
Yeah.
I thought that scene was really good.
thought that
I
was
really
really
liked that scene. That was
Except for-
probably what?
Except for the thing that kind of undercut, like right before that for me, was like the weird, ambiguous Leia death that they don't clearly define as to what
They
killed her.
had to kill
Well, I know that they did. I
Yeah.
just think it's not exactly defined at all what killed her. That's not a huge sticking point for me, but it
Old
felt
age?
weird.
Anyway,
It still ain't weird.
moving
and
on.
ambiguous.
Moving on. But I really like that scene. That's probably the best scene in the movie.
Yeah, I'd agree. I liked that one.
The end. Oh, I hated the end. Okay.
Oh, should we delve into our
Well,
mini hot takes?
I'm not done.
Oh, no, I'm just saying we can do that if we wanted to do that
Okay.
for here.
But I was saying, the end of the movie. Okay. Well, doesn't make sense. Because it's like, why do you even have Ben go there? He does nothing. Literally nothing. He gets thrown into a pit, and then Rey kills the Emperor by blocking as hard as she can.
Oh, I remember now.
Yeah.
He should have,
They should have worked together to defeat the Emperor
That
or
would've been
something.
a lot
but he
cooler.
should have killed the Emperor.
Oh yeah,
That's the
that was what
Alec
Alec
and
was
I.
saying.
I'm pointing because he's
Yeah, that
upstairs.
was
That's
the
what yeah,
breakdown
he
Alec
came up
gave.
with.
We thought
Yeah, killed the
Kylo
Emperor,
Ren should have killed the Emperor.
and then he becomes all the Sith, and then you have Rey and Kylo Ren fight.
Yes.
That would have been a cool
that
ending,
would have been
and
better.
a much
I
better.
do admit that would have been better.
Oh, and much better for Kylo Ren to die, because I hate the way he died.
The way he died was a
It was
little
so dumb. He
weird.
just because he healed Rey and she was dead. I guess he died. There was no reason. I mean, at that point, there's no reason for him to die. Also, I think I don't know. It's just because I think he was by far the best character in the sequel trilogy, and then you just kill him at the very end for seemingly no reason was dumb. Because if you did the other thing you were talking about, then it'd actually be a reason for him to actually die.
It would be emotional. It wouldn't be. Oh, that scene.
It'd be much more, I don't know. You wouldn't. That would not be the ending you're expecting. And I'm not sure now how I feel about. I mean, I think there's some potential, some stuff Disney's still doing with Star Wars, because The Mandalorian's really good. And they got a new season of the Clone Wars TV show coming up, which you should watch, because the Clone Wars TV show is amazing.
Watch Star Wars The Clone Wars.
Yes.
Or
Star Wars
you're
Clone Wars
lame.
amazing. So they got that kind of... And then there's the 3 new I think it's going to be a new trilogy, like the one that comes out in 2022, 2024, and 2026. I think that's going to be a new trilogy.
Okay, yeah, I'm not... Like, I'm just kind of indifferent. My opinion, we'll see how it goes.
I'm not looking forward to movies, but there is some interesting stuff Disney's still doing with Star Wars, so...
I think it completely depends on who they get to make all of the things.
Yeah, well, I don't think it's just... creative freedom is...
Yeah.
Because I think Disney likes to interfere a lot with stuff people make. Which is why, like... half of the Star Wars movies have had a director change. Actually, over half.
Disney sucks.
What?
You know
We're
it's true.
Okay. So,
My new hit single.
what were you talking about? Hot takes?
Well, I was using a quotes because I think it's kind of dumb.
Are we gonna bring up that point? That we...
I'm gonna, cause I have such strong feelings.
Would
I
you
feel
like
like
me to?
I feel like I should get them out first.
Okay.
Or do you want to see?
But maybe I should
Oh
say,
no,
'cause
actually
I'll
you
be
should
calmer
do first. You'll be
if I
calmer, and
say
then I
it.
can
Okay.
say your opinion first. Don't say mine.
Okay, no, I won't say yours.
Good.
My opinion of, when Rey dies, and Kylo Ren / Ben heals her, and she's alive again, they look at each other, look into their eyes, and I'm like, no,
Describe it.
no, don't go there, and they do go there, and they kiss. I'm like, why? Okay, I don't, but then he dies.
For
So-
reasons.
So since he died, there was no relationship, which I don't think would have been great, then I was okay with it. But my daughter has different opinion than a little different. Stronger
I have
opinion.
different opinions than both of you. You go next, because I'm probably going to disagree with both of you.
Let's jump into this. I hated it so much when that happened. I was internally screaming as soon as I see that
literally.
look in their eyes. You know, the telling, movie thing. It's like, oh, they're gonna kiss. This is so romantic. This is a wonderful moment. No, it's not. It sucked. Just look into each other's eyes, the hand on the cheek. Just internally screaming, almost verbally. I don't know. It's all a blur at this point. Just with pure hate filling me. And then they do it. They go there. The worst place you can go if you're thinking about the arcs of these characters and what has happened, and just... I ripped the styrofoam cup I was holding in half, and that pretty much exemplifies my feelings that I still have towards that whole thing. I think it was stupid. I think it was a horrible choice. I think it's just... I hate it. I hate it so much. So much. That's all I need to say about it. That's all I have to say about it.
How did you feel about it?
I didn't have any problem with it whatsoever. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, that was not unexpected. They very obviously set that up in The Last Jedi. It wasn't that unexpected. I think the only reason you hate it is just because that's what all the, shippers wanted. And
No, that is not the reason
Isn't
I
that the
hate
reason?
it.
The what wanted?
I think that he
I'll
can
tell
be
you later.
redeemed, but I just think that with the stuff that happened in the earlier movies, it is not a good idea for, the things that happen and go on for them to have any sort of romantic thing.
Question. I do have a question. In The Force Awakens, it seems like they're setting up Finn and Rey. At least Finn likes Rey, because that's what you're saying.
Hmm.
And in the next movie, there's Finn and I don't know her name.
Rose.
Okay. And then in the last movie, it's I don't know.
Rey
and Ben.
Yeah.
Kylo Ren.
I
I just thought that was
well,
congruent.
to answer your question, that's what happens when you have a different director. When you have a different director for those two movies, and they do what they want, basically, and aren't fun. Because I'm sure that was J.J. Abrams' original plan, but Rian Johnson didn't want to do that, so he had to set the whole Rey and Kylo Ren thing instead. That's probably why, because that's what J.J. Abrams probably. I don't know if he wanted Rey. I'm not sure if he wanted Rey and Finn to get together, because it's very obvious that Finn likes Rey, but doesn't necessarily. At least in that movie, you don't know for sure if Rey feels the same way.
Did J.J. Abrams, did he direct Rise of Skywalker?
Yeah, he did Rise of Skywalker.
And he did Force Awakens.
Yes.
See, it's kind of like the original movies. George Lucas did the first one and the third one.
No.
Didn't he do the third one?
No, somebody else did the third one. I don't remember his name.
But he didn't do
Empire Strikes Back. He the only one he directed the original trilogy.
Edward Kirshner or something like that.
A New Hope was the only one the original trilogy he directed.
But they were all had to be on the same page. And
cool, because George Lucas still was involved in writing involved in writing all this. So they all had the same writers, and he was in charge of the whole overall story. It's just that he said to people direct each one. The thing with the sequel trilogy is apparently J.J. Abrams did have some sort of, at least, depending on what you hear, J.J. Abrams had some story flexing the scripts, but there wasn't necessarily an overall plan that the other directors had to follow. Mm-hmm. I think that was the problem, that they didn't have this clear beginning and follow that all the way to the end. It's like you're setting everything up, Emperor Palpatine. I don't think that was the plan when Force Awakens came out, to have him show up. I could be wrong, but from what I've heard, it doesn't sound like it. So that's what happens when you don't have a clear-cut story that you want to follow from beginning to end, and you just let everybody kind of do what they want.
I think that's the thing that frustrates me about this, because I think to have a good, cohesive story, you at least have to have a general idea of where you're going to go with things.
Mm-hmm.
And they didn't, and it makes the story points feel really all over the place, and I feel like it made it hard for the Rise of Skywalker to tie things up in any sort of decent fashion.
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Is it okay? Can I ask you guys another question?
Yes.
Okay. Spoiler alert again. What did you think about Emperor Palpatine being Rey's grandfather?
I don't know, honestly.
I thought that was, I didn't expect that, so I thought that was a good twist.
Well,
Call it a twist.
I had mixed,
he would have been really old when...
Yeah.
Just
I did the math.
Don't go there.
Don't do the math.
Don't do the math. Don't do the math. Then it just
don't.
gets really weird if you do the math. The problem I had with it is, not necessarily that you had that reveal, but the fact that you did it in the very last movie, and it is very obvious by that point that wasn't the intention. At least, well, that may have been his intention
so?
At least, it may have been his intention in the very first movie. I don't know. But when you kind of had the whole, in the second one, Rey is a nobody, it was very obvious that J.J. Abrams decided to change that because he didn't want to.
I like the fact that Snoke guy was not the main villain thing, and they just kind of, that showed that he was just kind of was he like a puppet of Palpatine?
Yeah. Well, I didn't like that they had Emperor Palpatine come back.
Oh, I thought that was... I liked it.
I didn't like that. I thought that was a bad decision, because...
It was kind of crammed in there into the last movie.
Yes.
Well, see,
is that what you were going to say?
I would like to...
Well, I
Should
wasn't
I take
done.
away your...
Oh,
yeah,
go ahead.
I'm
Sorry.
Well, I would say about the Emperor Palpatine coming back, it's not just that. It's kind of like... It kind of undermines the plot of the first 6 movies. Because that's about, Anakin's the chosen one. He's supposed to, kill the Emperor... He's supposed to be gone, and in the original trilogy, they're fighting to overthrow the Empire and defeat the Emperor. But turns out they didn't, at least completely defeat the Emperor, and the Emperor survived. And they never, also, I thought that was a kind of very important thing that they needed to explain. We thought they should have explained how the Emperor came back instead of his vague answer about the dark side being a pathway to many abilities people consider to be unnatural. That's not an answer! That is not an answer at all!
I feel like that's
a cop-out!
I feel like you need to, especially make these all interesting, be hinting to this stuff.
Yeah, if you
and setting it up
I mean,
better earlier, because
I would have had, and also would have had a little bit less of a problem with the Emperor coming back. Yeah, like you said, if they set it up in the first couple movies, but it's like I said again, very obvious that that was not the intention originally.
It almost comes off as, even if it like maybe it was planned in like maybe the first one or had a vague idea of something like that, because of The Last Jedi, like makes it seem like, oh, we need a main villain now. Here's one that we already know.
Because I think in The Last Jedi at that point, Kylo Ren is supposed to become your main villain, but I guess J.J. Abrams didn't want Kylo Ren to be the main villain, so he had Emperor Palpatine come back instead.
I would like to see the movie again.
Also,
those thoughts.
The other thing about The Rise of Skywalker, I feel like they crammed the plot of 2 different movies in there, because, oh my goodness.
I feel like they had to.
That movie rushes is so rushed, and they visit, like, literally, like, 10 planets.
I feel like
that's not a joke.
almost
It's, like, around 10 planets.
I feel like almost what happened is, like, literally, like, none of the, like, because The Last Jedi didn't set pretty much anything up, J.J. Abrams was like, okay, let's take some of these original ideas I had and shove them all into one movie.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it
everything.
had to be you could have cut down stuff significantly.
Yeah.
You didn't need to
agree.
introduce, like, 5 new characters in the very last movie. You could have done it so it wouldn't have felt like you were just speeding through it.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Also, on the fact, I mean, this kind of bothered me, but just because, like I said, that rushed through it so fast. But the fact that probably one of the most important scenes that that would have ever happened in a Star Wars movie, like Emperor Palpatine, like, you know, revealing himself to everybody, like you could see the reactions of the characters and stuff, and it's just like, this is very important. Why did you not show this so, like, you know, and see what other characters are thinking?
Yeah, I feel like you could have, if this had been planned out better, you could have found a way to, like, weave some of that into The Last Jedi. But obviously, they didn't have a plan.
No plans. Somebody thought, we'll just wing it. I mean, that's how that went.
That doesn't work, especially when you're using different directors. It might work if you have, like, same people, everything cohesive,
Writers,
but
all that stuff.
it's not cohesive at all.
Yeah.
I didn't get to finish my rant. Can I move on to this?
Yes, you can move on.
I didn't get to finish, well, not entirely rant, just my reasoning, though, going back to why I absolutely hate, like, you know, stuff with Rey and Ben, is I know that they were hinting at this because any characters, as we all know from watching movies in Hollywood, that have any sorts of, like, interactions that could possibly, in any corner of the universe, be deemed somewhat romantic, will end up in a relationship together, probably. Because everyone has to end up in a relationship, right? But just, the thing I don't like about that is just, I don't know, if you, like, look back at, like, things that happened between them, like, earlier, it just doesn't seem to, it doesn't make sense to me. It feels weird because they've tried to kill each other on multiple occasions.
Love is weird
like,
that way. No?
I get he's redeemed, but his true redemption doesn't happen until, like, closer to the end of Rise of Skywalker. And so there's no time for that to even, like, you know, them to be able to change things of their interactions after he's been officially redeemed to build a relationship and have any reason, to me, to make sense for that to be any sort of healthy romance. It's just, it's weird. I don't think that was a smart story choice, and I just don't like it. At all. I think it's stupid.
Do you need to
you feel better?
take a few deep breaths now, or
No, I'm fine.
or do you release everything you need to release? Alright,
I just don't like it.
So, Mom, any last thoughts about the Rise of Skywalker before we move on?
I guess my last thought would be, I know it wasn't perfect, but I was happy that it was at least a lot better than The Last Jedi. I was pleased from. I mean, the whole thing. You're right. Could have been better, but I thought it ended on a good note.
Emma, any thoughts? Any more ranting you need to do?
No,
Or?
I think I'm good. That's the thing. When I look back, I think it's absolutely the best out of all the sequels.
Yes.
I don't think it was a bad movie, but I don't know. I didn't love it. There were things about that I liked and things about that I didn't like.
I really liked it.
I thought it was.
Your last thoughts?
It was okay. There were parts of it that were good. There were parts of it that were not so good. And a lot of it was just, eh.
I feel like I'd have to see it again because I think I was being too critical going into it. Like, I just couldn't shut off that part of my brain. So I need to see it again.
I enjoyed it, yeah. So I enjoyed some moments. So, are we ready to move on?
Yes.
All right.
Let's.
So, today we have a
special segment?
Special segment, yeah.
A special segment.
Yeah. And for this special segment, we are going to do an eating challenge.
Wait,
with every fifth bean.
Wait, we are doing that?
Yeah, it's
I
after
thought we
dinner.
were doing that!
No, we will.
No,
Yeah, come on.
No.
I'm just messing with you.
No,
Probably
I will
fun.
walk out.
That's
of your
for one of our
podcast
other guests.
right now.
Watch your back, Moira and Cameron.
Alright. No. Instead, we're going to be
I'm your mom, and I'm saying no.
That's not quite as much fun.
We will do that eventually, though.
We're playing a game of top 5,
Uh-oh.
bottom 5.
Okay.
So but basically, how this is going to work is I'm going to, like, for movies, I'm going to think of what are my top, like, that's the first category, movies. I'll think of what are my top 5 movies, and then you guys both have to, well, I'll have a piece of paper, and you'll be writing down what you think my top 5 movies are.
Oh, so we're writing about what we think your top 5, I don't
Yeah.
know.
And then whoever gets the most right will get a point. Wait, you should get a point for each one you get right. And
Okay.
we'll have multiple categories.
Okay.
Alright. No peeking.
I won't. Who's gonna entertain the audience while we're all
You know what? I can entertain the
talking?
audience. So, if you want to, in the comments, you could try and guess what you think my 5 favorite movies are.
Good luck.
Before. Good luck. There's a chance they could get it. Isn't there? Don't you think?
Maybe.
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 Comment below if you got it right and totally didn't skip forward in the video to find the answers and then
Well,
put
that's
them
why
to
you.
make
That's why
yourself
you
seem smarter.
pause the video, and then. Well,
Are they really gonna do that?
we
though?
don't actually. Yeah, I probably.
Do
can't
we trust
them.
Hey,
them?
do your work on it.
No.
Where are you at? I'm on 3.
I'm on 1.
Come on, Emma.
I don't know. You like too many movies. Do you really have a top
Hey,
5?
no peek. You're looking right
I'm
at
not
mine.
looking. I'm
Looks
looking
like you're
right
peeking.
here.
I
am
think
not
you're peeking.
I
It's
am
gonna
not
cause
No
fights in the family.
No cheating. There's no cheating.
I'm
Is frowned
scared.
upon.
I have 2.
You lose 100 points if you
I
cheat.
did not look.
Oh.
Oh, crap. I have 4. I realized I don't have a 5th one right now.
How are we supposed to guess?
No, I'm thinking of what my 5th one is currently. I really should have written these down beforehand.
You really should have. That would have been good planning ahead.
It would have been good planning ahead.
It's a shame you didn't think of that.
Pipe down. Okay, no, I had 5.
I have
favorites,
1
think.
more. I need 1 more.
So do I. Wait, can I see your list?
No.
If it's really good, I can.
Hey!
yeah.
No!
Actually,
No!
I'd be like, yeah, let's throw that one on there.
That's
No, I
not
can't do that.
fair.
I wanted to do that. Alright, shoot. Okay. Movies. Come on. Sure, we'll do that one. That's a good
That's
movie.
not very promising.
That's a good movie.
Is it
All
one
right.
of your favorite movies, though?
Sure, yeah, it's one of my favorites.
Actually, no, I'm gonna give this one
All
a
right.
5. Okay, I'm just letting you know I'll go with this.
Alright, so
No.
how do you guys want to do this? Do I read off mine first, or do you guys want to read off yours and then I read mine?
You read off yours.
Alright. Actually, I think it'd be better if I heard you guys'.
yeah. Why don't I? Can I see?
Yeah.
Okay, fine.
Okay.
Alright, you start, Mom.
Revenge of the Sith.
Okay.
You're not gonna
You're
say.
not gonna, no, just read yours, all of yours off.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, read all yours off and then.
Number 2, Captain America Winter Soldier.
Interesting.
Rogue One. Lord of the Rings. Moneyball.
I put Empire Strikes Back, Lord of the Rings, Winter Soldier, Revenge of the Sith, and just to throw in a wild card there, I put in A Few Good Men.
I almost.
Well, wait, Emma. You said Empire Strikes Back,
Yes.
Lord of the Rings,
Lord of the Rings just as a whole,
A Few Good Men.
The Winter Soldier, and Revenge of the Sith.
Wow! You got 4 out of 5.
Oh, I should have put that. I almost.
What did
you have? Read it off for our audience.
You guys didn't get my favorite
Wait,
movie.
No, just go.
Okay.
Go.
Sorry, I forgot. I knew there was something
Okay,
else.
A Few Good Men was one of them. That was the one I threw in at the end because I was like, that's a good movie.
That's a-
Winter Soldier is another one.
Okay, I got that one.
Lord of the Rings is
I got that
another one.
I got that one.
Empire Strikes Back is another one. I thought Papa Revenge of the
I
Sith.
thought you really liked Revenge of the Sith.
That one I probably just missed it. Empire Strikes Back, and then my favorite movie, which I'm ashamed of you now you guys put.
What?
The Dark Knight is my
Dark Knight.
favorite movie.
I can't believe I didn't.
I can't believe I forgot that
the
too.
Batman stuff just completely blank.
So I got
but
2.
I got 4.
Yeah, 4,
That's
I
actually
only
that's
got
good.
2.
2.
I'm surprised.
Emma, you were complaining, and you got 4.
I didn't think I would do well.
All
I'm
right.
sad. I failed.
Alright, this is no.
2 out of 5.
The
I knew you would have the Winter Soldier because I know that's your favorite Marvel movie.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I
knew
love
that one.
Winter Soldier.
And I knew
All
Lord
right.
of the Rings.
So now we still gotta do bottom 5 for this category now.
Bottom 5?
my least favorite
I know
movies.
a few.
This is for all the marbles. Wait, I can't look here to see if there's any obvious ones I'm forgetting.
You should look at mine.
No.
Because no, I have 2 that I'm.
Wait, no, I just want to see if my memory gets jogged. Alright.
No, you can't do that. That's cheating.
I'm not changing any of my answers based off of that.
Oh, okay.
Sure.
Or
So
no, I'm serious.
Again, guess put in the comments below if you know these.
Yes, put in comments below.
You probably don't, unless you specifically talk to him about these. But
I have some controversial ones. I don't know if these will be controversial at all. If anyone
guessing.
keeping score, it's 4-2.
I'm guessing.
And right, okay, this is your last chance to put down what you think my 5 least favorite movies are.
You
okay,
should go first.
All right, yeah.
I'll
You
go
first.
first. I did The Circle, Jack and Jill, A Christmas Story, projecting there, The Last Jedi, and Spider-Man 3.
Wait,
Yeah.
see, so Jack and Jill,
The-
A Christmas
The-
Story,
yeah.
The Last Jedi, Spider-Man 3, what was the other one?
The Circle.
Oh, The Circle. Okay.
Okay.
Alright.
The Circle.
Yep.
The Last Jedi.
Yep.
Thor.
Which one? Just Thor?
I'm not sure. I didn't think you were like all. I
Just
just
do Thor.
yeah, Thor. Little Women. Frozen.
Alright. Sorry, Mom. Emma beat you again. She got 4.
What were yours?
Jack and Jill.
Jack and
Yeah.
Never watched it. It's an Adam Sandler movie and it's
Zach
it's
told
horrible.
me about
No,
that.
I think-
It's
you
horrible.
told me that he hated it, so I
And
knew that
I
was
can't believe now you guys put this on here because you guys have both seen this movie and we've all agreed it was awful. Noah.
Oh, I forgot about
I hate
Noah.
that.
about
I hate that movie.
So what else? What else?
Did you put The Circle?
I did put The Circle, so you guys
Yeah.
both got that one. And then we have A Christmas Story, which I hated that movie.
Okay,
I don't know why it's a
I
classic.
couldn't remember your feelings toward it.
I apologize
so
for anyone who likes that
I
movie.
was projecting a little
I
bit there
forgot
too,
about that
but
one. I knew you didn't like that, but I forgot.
And then The
Okay.
Last Jedi.
I just
You
threw
didn't
on
put
Spider-Man.
Frozen?
I did not.
Do you like
So
Frozen?
he doesn't.
I don't like
Well, that's the
Frozen.
thing.
It's just I don't
That's the
hate
thing. That's why I
Frozen.
didn't put movies like
Secretly
Mom,
like
Mom,
No.
Mother.
No.
That's why I didn't put movies like Little Women or Frozen because he's never expressed like pure hatred for them.
Yes.
Because he hasn't
Thank
sat
you.
down to watch the whole thing. Like he wasted his life watching movies like The Circle, Jack and Jill, Christmas Story,
Those
Last
are movies.
Jedi.
Those are movies. Okay.
But
Except for Last Jedi, I would watch again if I was rewatching all the Star Wars.
Mhm.
But most of these movies are movies
Most
I
of
would
them.
never watch again.
yeah, because you never
'Cause I hated
have
them.
made yourself sit down, like dedicate time and sit down to watch the other ones, and so you don't have like hatred.
I
Yes.
got an F on this test. I just
Emma
want you to know.
got a B minus.
I got an F.
Emma got a B minus.
I got 4 out of 10.
Woo!
Which is a passing grade.
I win!
Unlike your grade.
You guys know each
All
other
right.
really well. I know you two.
All right. Emma, final score has 8. Mom, final score has 4.
Woo!
So Emma's the winner. All right. I think we're all done here for tonight. So thank you for watching the Overthinking Nerds podcast, and join us next week where we
See you next time.
What are we talking about next week? Give them a teaser.
Probably, I don't know.
Say we'll probably be talking about the MCU.
Something to do with
Yeah.
that.
So see you next time on the Overthinking Nerds podcast.
Are you gonna thank
Bye.
our guest?
Bye.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you
Mom.
for being an amazing guest. Thank you for
You're
being
a
an amazing
guest. You're a
guest.
wonderful
You
guest.
should always thank your guest.
Yes. Thank you
Thank
for being.
you,
You're our
Mom.
first guest.
Yeah.
So you've also been our best guest.
That could change.
Thank you.
Thank you for watching.
She's our only
Goodbye.
best guest, but also our best guest.
Goodbye.
Bye.